Hate it when I ask you, do you care? It makes me shrug despair. It's understood. If you love me, then why do you love that more? If you miss me, then why do you miss that more than me? If you need me so, then how does it have to go with that silicone chip instead of me? If you love me, then why do you love that more? If you miss me, then why do you miss that more than me? If you need me so, then how does it have to go with that silicone chip instead of me? Every time I'm sitting half alone, you're playing with your code. It's understood. Hate it when I'm watching movies here. Why can't you watch The Notebook with me, dear? It's understood. If you love me, then why do you love that more? If you miss me, then why do you miss that more than me? If you need me so, then why does it have to go with that silicone chip instead of me?
Late nights at the screen, baby, can't you see? Lips and blobs haunt my dreams, coding endlessly. You say you're feeling lonely, but I'm building our scheme to be the power couple, we're the empire, you're supreme. Why can't you understand this dream we share? Through lines of code, our future's there. Your words cut deep, they leave a scar, but together we can shine like a shooting star. Yeah, like a shooting star. You say it's a nightmare, this life we're leading, but darling, don't you know it's a future you're feeding? Ups and downs, they may come, but it's part of our creed. With every keystroke, I'm planting the seed. Why can't you understand this dream we share? Through lines of code, our future's there. Your words cut deep, they leave a scar, but together we can shine like a shooting star. Yeah, like a shooting star. Support my grind, girl, and watch us soar. Punching keys for us now forevermore. Two hearts intertwined in this digital flight. We'll conquer the world come day or night. Why can't you understand this dream we share? Through lines of code, our future's there. Your words cut deep, they leave a scar, but together we can shine like a shooting star.
Coach Ralph, tough as nails, no disguise. Pushing limits, yeah, he's that kind of guy. At first it's harsh, the rules feel like chains. But trust the process, there's sunshine in the rains. He cracks the whip, but it's all in love. Results shining bright like stars above. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. Days turn to weeks, skills sharp and fast. What once was a struggle now feels like a blast. Step by step, we rise and we glow. With Ralph in our corner, we're ready to show. Singing his praises, can't keep it inside. From hard ass to hero, he's our pride. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everyone doing tonight? I see my guy Yakar is in the building already, aka Mr. Technique in the building. What's up, Yakar? How are you doing? And how is everyone doing tonight? Hopefully you're doing well. I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are Engineer to Win. This is the Q&A show, Tech Q&A. Questions about QA, quality assurance, tech, careers, whatever the case may be, I am here for you. Let me go ahead and turn on the call-in link in the case you want to give a call and ask a question. The link is open. You can feel free to click on the link. It is pinned to the top of the chat as well as in the description, and it should be circulating throughout the night as well if I remember to press the button. But feel free to call in and we can have a conversation, because that is where you can find me on Tuesday nights. You can ask questions in the chat as well. Tonight is Tuesday, December 3rd. What? Yes, December 3rd. We're already in December. Can you believe it? It's like we're already in December. We are right around the corner from 2025. Oh my goodness. Can you believe it? We have been going at this for a full year now. Our first full year. Last year was half a year. We started around June-ish, end of May. We got it going, and now it's been one full year. So imagine that. Imagine that. And there is no stopping us. We are taking off. We're going to be finding new things to do, new things to build. There is nothing that is going to stop us. All right. So with that being said, let's jump into our show for today, our agenda. So first, and let me get up my housekeeping real quick. Housekeeping for the day. I just want to say a big thank you to all of the subscribers on the channel, the new ones, the old ones, those who watch with us and interact with us in the chat, those who watch from the clouds, and I appreciate you all. I honestly appreciate you all.
I appreciate you.
And I appreciate the feedback, the comments, whatever it is. I appreciate it because it is my pleasure to bring you this tech content, this insight, how to maneuver, all that good stuff, right? That is my pleasure. So happy to have you as part of the channel. So, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat or click on the link to call in, and I will make sure to get that addressed. All right, next up, I just want to give a big shout out to all of my tech savages out there. So, those are my tech barbarians. Those are the ones that I'm coaching one-on-one to help them level up. Sometimes I gotta send out a bat signal for them, like, hey, where are you? Where are you? And they go, I'm here, I'm here. I'm just a little busy. I'm like, hey, look. You are never too busy for yourself, for your future, for your success. So we got to get the ball moving. We got to get the ball moving. We're doing some great things. We're working on our mock interviews. We're refining our resumes. Leveling up, upskilling ourselves. Being able to one of my tech barbarians. They've been writing Medium articles, to try to get their name out there more. So I'm like, whatever it is, I'm gonna support you, and we're going to go out there and we're gonna kill it. All right. So shout out to my tech barbarians, my tech prodigy. I also work with them one-on-one. Shout out to the technical explorers out there who are soaking up the information that I put in the Patreon, like how to use AI more effective. I'm gonna actually create a video for the Patreon of me trying different AI tools and how you can use different AI tools to help you level up as well. And so just appreciate you all. You guys are the best. Thank you for supporting and for all the work that you guys are doing. I am so proud of you guys. And of course, I want to give a big shout out to the YouTube members, my tech mercenaries who support the YouTube channel day in and day out. And I can never, ever forget. Shout out to the bag chasers out there.
Money.
And last but certainly not least, I always have to give a shout out to my two homies, to Mr. Technique Yakar. I remember Yakar. I was thinking about this today when they said you don't need a car, but I was like, but you need your car. Okay, that's what. Shout out to Yakar and my guy, my bestest friend in the whole wide world. Shout out to my guy Mitch as well.
Hey.
And at any given moment, we can be mid sentence and we just gotta drop the beat and start catching these hands of love. So you never know when that's gonna come up. That is my favorite part of any show where we drop the beat. All right. So I'm just saying. All right. So that being said, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Thank you guys so much. Always appreciate the support and the love that I get from you and how we can work together so that we can win, we can level up. All right. Next up, let me just jump in real quick to our live show schedules. We have on Thursday nights, we're going to be going live this Thursday. We're going to be continuing working on some updates for our Urban Dictionary of Economic Data. We're going to be doing some more UI enhancements and see if there's anything we can do on the back end. So we're just gonna figure that out, right? So Thursday, software exploration. Sunday afternoons we have more software explorations, but we're working on the DevOps part, deploying. We went down a rabbit hole this past Sunday trying to get our MongoDB to have like private access to our Google Cloud platform containers. So we might go more into that this coming Sunday. Hopefully we can find a good solution for that. If not, we might have to patch something together. We shall see, right? We have our morning shows as well, Coffee and Kata, where we are in the morning, we're reviewing our news stories as well as we are continuing to work on our mobile development. Right now, we're just hacking our way through we're trotting through writing our mobile widget test so we can be going into the App Store soon for iOS and Android for our time cost calculator. The link should be circulating in the chat if you want to download it and try it out. And then we have our Tuesday night shows Q&A tonight. So if you have a question, you can call in, you can drop it in the chat. We'll make sure I get that answered for you. And then we have the final show of the week, Saturday mornings. Saturday mornings, we have the Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers Manipulate show. And that show is hosted by me, Tech Coach Ralph, as well as Mitch and Yakar from the chat, always giving me some valuable insight And sometimes we have to have some discussions, some debates. We might see things differently, but we like to bring you all the perspectives. All right. So that is what we do on Saturday mornings, reviewing the weekly economic numbers. It is such a fun show. I've been dropping clips from those shows early in the morning so that you guys can, so whoever is not able to watch the shows on Saturday, they can see the different segments of the things we're talking about, educating you on how to break down. We're using our Urban Dictionary of Economic Data, educating you on what these things mean, how they can be applied to you, and then we review the reports to see what's going on in our economy, so that we can be more informed and they can stop calling us uneducated just because we do not see things or vote the same way that they do. That doesn't mean we're uneducated. That just means that we understand things differently. All right. All right, next up, we also have our pre-recorded content. Mondays, we have Candid Conversations. Yesterday, I was talking about how I see the state of QA and what might happen in 2025. So you definitely want to tune into that one. We have Wednesday, Software Explorations. We're going to be talking about, I believe tomorrow is going to be about cryptography. So you definitely want to tune into that. I'm going to be scheduling the premiere right after the show. And then Fridays we have the Bug Bite, where I don't even remember what we're talking about on the Bug Bite, but it's going to be good. So we're talking about different software industry bugs, cyber attacks. I think we are talking about a cyber attack on Friday. So you definitely want to tune in and have that conversation. I'll be in the chat with you guys. And throughout the week, like I was saying, we have shorts as well as clips from the Saturday morning show where we're reviewing the weekly economic data, and we have clips from this show, the Q&A show that we have. So Monday through Fridays, we have all of that, right? So that is everything. Those are our pre-recorded shows as well as our live shows. So I'm looking forward to seeing you everywhere. So that's why you got to hit the notification bell so you can know every time that I drop new content, so that you can be well informed in this economic game, this tech game, career building skills, all of that good stuff. All right. So let's clap it up for that. And before we jump into our questions and the chat, I just wanted to give a big shout out to my friend that I used to work with this person over 10 years ago. And I just saw on LinkedIn that they and two other friends, are going to be starting their own podcast related to QA, engineering quality, all that good stuff. So I am looking forward to it. Hopefully, not hopefully, they will. It's a matter of when. They're going to be coming on this show to talk about their podcast and what they're looking to do. And I will be the very first one to support them and promote them as soon as they're ready, because they've always been very helpful and supportive of me, and I am going to reciprocate. We are not going to be putting tariffs on anyone because it is fair trade. So really appreciate that, and I'm excited for their first episode to drop. As soon as that first episode is going to be dropping, I am going to be promoting them. Like, all right, let's do it. I am with you 100%. And, I will probably be going on their show, and whatever the case may be, I am with it. All right. So always got to support those who support you. All right. All right. So the call-in link is open. Let me go get this off, and I'm going to check the chat, and then we're going to get to our very first question of the night. All right. So let me see what we have going on over here. All righty then. So let me see what we got going on. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of people here. All right. So let's see. Where are we? Your car said that he's going to put a tariff on me. He says I'm going to put a tariff on you being late. Tech go drop. I cannot be late because the show starts when I am here. I am. I'm saying I can't be late. But please don't put a tariff on me. All right.
Bruh.
I can't. Your car, if you put a tariff on me, I will not be able to survive. Your car is asking, see, I don't even know who Alanis Morissette is, to say, I'm just saying, I have no idea who that is. Your car, I have absolutely no idea who that is. Let's see. Let me see, where are we going? Your car says, now we back to the usual Full House theme from the 90s sitcoms. Yes, we are. That's my jam, Yakar. That's my jam. It says, was that bookcase always back there? So it was right behind me, but I moved it over to get some more space behind me to make more space in here. So I just moved it over slightly, but it was always there, just like right behind me. Let me see something real quick. Is something going crazy? Let me see. No, it's not bad. Close some stuff down. Got some things open here that might be slowing down the system. All right, there we go. All right, so let me continue. It says Mitch is in the building. Says Rumble, young man, Rumble. Life is a trip, so sometimes we gonna stumble. You gotta go through pain in order to become you. Now the whole chat loves me. Dropping bars. What's up, Mitch? How you doing? Hopefully you're having a great night, a great day. We your car. Thank you, your car. I appreciate your car. I'm telling you, always supporting, always supporting.
I appreciate you.
And Adrian Akers in the building. AJ's in the building. Says, "What's up? We love you and appreciate you, broski. I appreciate you. You know what?
I appreciate
I appreciate you too. And hopefully you have been able to look through the content in the Patreon and it is helpful. And if there's anything that you are looking for in there, let me know and I will get it created. We got, oh my goodness. All right. Let's stop the show. Stop the show. We got, you see, Rod Brown is competing with me to be best friends with Mitch, right? We're in constant competition here. But Rod Brown says, what's up, everyone? Just stopping by to say what up. Out of town for work, getting that bag.
money.
But wanted to show some love. Appreciate it. We're gonna have we always have a great show. We always have a great show. I'm telling you, competing to be best friends. Like this is not just Ralph in here. Yeah, they're too funny. Too funny. All right, let me see. Let's zoom down a little bit more. It says, let me see. Where? What did your car said something? He says Spotify malware for the bug fly. Yeah, that's good. That's not going to be this week, but that might be next week. I had already recorded that one, but yeah, I get so many of my bug bites from your car because he'd be sending me all these articles. I'm like, man, I have bug bites for a year now. So all right, let's see. Mitch said I didn't prove people. Shout out to Mitch. Let me see. Let's see. All right, so let me save. Actually, I have one similar to that one. All right, so I have this question from Adrian Akers. We'll probably take that as our first question. But let me get to all of these. Let me see. All right, we got Magnetar 17 in the building as well. What's up, Magnetar 17? How are you doing? So happy to have you here as well. All right. We're gonna get to our first question of the night. And I'm gonna use Adrian Akers' question for that to be the first question of the night. So let me get it to stay on the screen too. Let's go to that. All right, cool. We are going to get started with our questions for tonight. All right, let's get to it.
Another one.
Adrian says, what advice would you have for someone who is interviewing for a QA job who does not have a background in testing and has concerns with the background check? Oof. Well, I guess we'll start our timer for that one. Let's get our timer started for that. I mean, when it comes to the background and testing, I guess it's a little tricky because QA is pretty massive. It's how fast can you like ramp up to the information on the different types of testing, a strategy. Like if you had to test something, how would you explain going about it, right? So if you don't have a background in software testing or testing and QA in particular, because everyone tests something in life, but you might not, like, everyone does QA, right? Regardless of what it is that you're doing. But what QA itself is, what quality assurance is the process that you would go through in testing that, the documentation that you would write, and then moving like more advanced into QA is what strategies would you employ to optimize how you test so that you can run these tests over and over and over again, and but you don't have to like do it manually. So it's more of like, so the actual part of QA, without the background in testing, is being able to articulate how you'd go about testing, what scenarios that you would go to. So honestly, like, the advice would be to start testing things. Honestly, to start testing things. Probably like if you have an interview coming up right away, you probably need to get some interview prep. But it's not. I'll be honest with you, it's not going to be easy to it's not even, honestly, it's not even easy to get an interview in QA nowadays. So to be interviewing in QA without having any background in QA, that's a pretty hard task to do. But I'd say, like, try to prep, try to do some interview prep for it, mock interviews. And whatever happens, at least you go into that interview. If you've never had a QA interview or a tech interview before, you go into it and you take it as a learning experience, whether you go to the next step or you get hired or not. You go into it to see like what type of questions that they're going to be asking you, what type of scenarios, so you can see what to expect in the future. All right. So that would be the biggest thing that I would say is about getting prepared. Now, the part about the background check, I I can't really say much about that. It just depends on what's in your background and what is the industry that you're getting into. Some companies, they check for background, some don't, depending on what they do. If you have a reason that you can't pass the background check, then you might as well scratch out getting like a contracting role for a government agency. But there's some other companies that they might not be too hard pressed on the background check. So it really depends at the end of the day. It's it's You got to keep in mind, working in QA, you can be working with sensitive data, you know, and so there's ways to prevent the access. But honestly, one of the reasons that companies would be doing a background check is because they want to they don't want to have all these extra layers that they have to worry about the people who are working at their company and stuff like that. So um I guess it would depend on what exactly that concern with the background check is. But at the end of the day, it's based on whatever you can get, whatever your circumstances are. Background checks mess up a lot of people, and um, fortunately and unfortunately, you might not be Hunter Biden, where you can get your dad to just pardon all your crimes for the past 10 years and get away with it like that. So you just got to figure it out. But I would say whatever happens, you go through the process, and you just go through the process. There's a lot of times we think way too far ahead instead of, all right, let's just see what the next step is. Let me go and interview. Let me go talk to these people. And for me, like, after I do an interview, I was telling somebody that I'm coaching, I'm like, after I do an interview, I'm like, all right, cool. Next, what's up next? I don't harp on it. I don't dwell on it. I don't overthink it before I go into it. One of the things that helped me in the past 4 years is having to go into these jujitsu matches and fight people in front of a whole crowd. and it's just me and this other guy and a referee on the mat, and I hear a bunch of people talking around me, but I have to focus. So I'm like, if I can go and have some random person trying to break my arm, trying to choke me, trying to kill me, then what is interview, right? What is an interview? Let me just go ahead and do it, and whatever happens at the end of the day, right? So I'd say don't think too much into it. Try to get prepared as much as possible, and if they think that you don't have enough experience or something with the background, then went through the process, and you just keep looking forward. That's all you can do. What is looking back going to do to you? What is looking back going to do to you, other than having you running in the victim Olympics? All right. But with that being said, we're going to wrap that question up. Thank you for amazing first question, Adrian. All right, so we're going to continue on with the show. Let me see. Your car and Mitch are fighting about who dresses better. Let's see. Let me see. Magnetar says he's about to drive. Appreciate you, Magnetar. I appreciate you. All right. So, your car says, I picture QA as the syllabus of development. Let me think about that. The syllabus of development. I kind of see that. I kind of like that analogy. It's not bad. Okay. Let's see. Mitch says, I used to do that. I used to overthink months in advance. Now I just try day by day. I mean, a lot of people, Mitch, they have analysis paralysis. So then, like, they will overanalyze something till the cows come home, and then they freeze up when the day comes because they were just like thinking about it too much. Now I'm like, I get prepared and that's one of the reasons that I do these. I'm doing these mock interviews with the people that I'm coaching, because you would be surprised how scared and nervous that they get in these situations. And I'm telling you, like, I would, like, one person I was coaching last year, I did like 3 mock interviews with them, and once they went into that interview, they were like calm, cool, and collected. So yeah, I mean, you're gonna just hurt yourself, all right? It says, Ralph gonna steal your line. All right, it says you're saying he would be. I don't. What was the line? Did I miss? Let me see. What was the line? What line did I miss? Too many things going in the chat nowadays. I missed it. But whatever that line is, I would give your car the credit, because I do not like stealing people's lines, right? All right, so let's get into our first question, or our second question of the night, because we had Adrian's question as the first question of the night. All right, so we are. Let me just read this real quick. It says, that was a great answer. I also enrolled in a few classes based on what I read and watched in your Patreon. I'm going to level up my membership once I'm done with this boot camp as well. Cool, awesome. Just hit me up. You can actually send me a message in the Patreon. And I can talk to you. We can chat back and forth one-on-one. And we can go from there. But yeah, like, whatever I can do to help you, let me know. All right. So shout out to you. Oh, the line was the syllabus analogy. I mean, I was just reading it, but it is a pretty good one. And I would always give your car the credit. All right, Mitch, come on. You know what, Mitch?
How dare you?
You got some real nerve, Mitch. You have some real nerve, right? All right. We are going to get to our second question of the night. All right. So let's get to it.
Another one.
So, what career is not overly saturated and still pays well? All right. So, this person says that they are currently in high school. They're a current high school sophomore in California. And it says, I'm a very smart student as I have averaged all A's my entire life. I'm taking one AP Euro, I guess European Studies or something, that I have an A in. I am interested in going to the college route, but I have no idea what job I want to work. The main want out of my job would be high paying. I have no real passion for any type of work. If I could choose any job, I would be a film director. Well, that's not going to be a good one. But of course, that's not really a feasible job. Okay, at least you know. I am not interested in the medical field because I suck. I suck at chemistry. I'm not interested in engineering field because that would require calculus, and I feel that that's beyond my skill set. So honestly, all right, let me finish this first, and then I'm gonna give some feedback. All right, says I was previously interested in the law field, specifically a lawyer, but I heard it was too overly saturated, and most lawyers end up broke, which is not what I want. So, what are some good high-paying jobs that I could consider? Alrighty then. Alrighty then. So let's get our timer kicked off on this one. And I just wanted to say this, right? This, like, kudos to this high school sophomore who's already thinking about their future. I honestly wish a lot more high school students would think about their future as well. Because a lot of times we end up in college, we end up graduating high school, and then we go to college, and then we just choose, like, we don't even have a major, right? We don't even have a major, and we just meander through through the campus looking for parties and fraternity stuff, and we're taking like these useless classes, running up a college debt, and then we have nothing to show for it. So I'm happy that this person is actually thinking about their future, but I'm gonna say this though, right? It seems that this person is kind of going, like, it's like they're kind of living college in high school because they have straight A's, but it's like in nothing, but the things that would be productive in the future, they're not actually doing that, right? So I don't know what AP Euro, what benefit that brings in life, knowing more, like, being AP in the European studies or something like that. But they don't like the things that would actually take them to the high paying roles and stuff like that. So, film director, like, no, let's not do that. All right.
Bruh.
But they're not interested in the medical field because they don't like chemistry. Well, I mean, even if you suck at something, right? Why don't you unsuck at it, right? Or they say that they don't want to go into the engineering field because that would require calculus, and they feel that's beyond their skill set. Well, why as a college, or why as a high school sophomore? Because sophomore is 10th grade. I didn't take pre-calculus until the 11th grade, right? And I didn't take calculus in high school till the 12th grade. And then I took calculus in college and trigonometry and stuff like that. But I mean, why? All right, so here's a problem with, and to all of my high schoolers out there who might be listening to this, right? Number one, nobody cares about your dreams or your feelings, right? Heard that this morning, which is, I totally agreed. The first time I heard the F your dreams statement 4 years ago, I was like 100% agree, right? But you need to stop limiting what you can do because you don't like something. There are many things that we're going to have to do in life that we don't like. But when we do it, we learn it. Like, there's absolutely nothing beyond your skill set. Well, I'll take that back, right? There's one thing that's definitely beyond my skill set, and that is graphic designs and graphic creativity, UI, UX type stuff, right? I will say that. But I make up for that in my coding and my testing abilities and my creative thinking abilities, right? So I say that calculus is algorithms, math, functions, stuff like that. Don't count yourself out of chemistry, out of engineering, because as a high school sophomore, you find it intimidating. The first time I was sparring in jujitsu, I was terrified as well because I was going to be fighting someone that I don't know they're actually gonna try to kill me, but on their in their mind, they're like, "Oh, I'm just going to help this person," and I'm like, "Oh my god, what am I doing here? What am I doing?" When my professor said, "You want to try?" I was like, "Okay." Um, and now I can literally take a nap while sparring. Not literally, but I can take a nap. I like I'm the person who is the calm, cool, and collected one, while we have these crazy white belts who are trying to murder me, and I have to, all right, all right, all right, all right, Junior, slow it down, Junior, right? So I would not say like you can't limit yourself. So I think the premise of the question is what the problem is, where you're looking for a somewhat easy career, but also one that's not overly saturated, right? Um, Honestly, with the way the internet is nowadays and the way that boot camps are nowadays, everything is overly saturated. So, you just gotta. My advice would be find out what is the most in demand, and you always have to keep checking on that, right? Anything in tech, anything in STEM is going to be in demand. Now there might be different parts of it. So like right now, I would say cybersecurity is going to be the demand for cybersecurity is going to be huge. But like we're going to be talking about tomorrow about cryptography. That I believe is a pretty huge one, but that it requires a lot of math, including calculus, and a lot of critical thinking algorithms, stuff like that, coding. But I think right now is a good opportunity to start learning all of this stuff, right? Um, one of the things that I would tell any high school student: go on a Coursera, a Udemy, whatever, and start learning the coding and the thinking now, so that once you get into college, you want to make college as easy as possible for you. I would like I would I I would if I knew this at the time, I would have learned everything that I needed to do in college before I got to college, so that once I go there, I can it's just a cakewalk, right? It's just a cakewalk, and I just knock it out the park and go from there instead of having to struggle trying to figure out what how to code in C plus plus or some nonsense like that, and not knowing what you're walking into. Make a plan to know exactly what you're going to go into and execute on that plan instead of trying to take the easy way out. All careers are overly saturated. I mean, there's a new QA boot camp that spins up every other day, and they're telling you that that in 3 weeks you're going to be getting a manual QA job, and then you go and so now you have 1,000 people a day signing up, and now they're all applying for the same jobs, and then they tell you, and then they tell you,
Do not come.
right? So that's why I say that find the hardest thing. Find the hardest thing to do and go out there and kill it, right? Go out there and kill it. All right? With that being said, we're going to wrap that one up. Alrighty then. So let's see what's going on. We got Alexis in the building. What's up, Alexis? How are you doing? Hopefully you are doing well. Hopefully you're having a great time. And Alexa, hopefully you're getting ready for your mock interview. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. That is going to be the highlight of my week. Let me see. So let me see what we got. Let's see. A lot. All right. So, Yakar said that he is celebrating Kwanzaa this year. Well, congratulations to you, Yakar. I guess we will celebrate that Yakar is celebrating Kwanzaa this year. It says most lawyers are drunk. I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't want any lawyers to come after me. But you are 100% allegedly correct. All right, you are 100% allegedly correct. Let's see. Mitch says that druggies. Mitch says every job is saturated. Yep. There's a new boot camp for a job every other week. I guess though, the jobs that might require you to get that actually requires you to get a license, they might be a little less saturated, but there's probably a lot of corruption that goes in there too, because you could just probably just pay for the license and then you're not really qualified to do it. So that's probably possible as well. Uh, let's see. Your card says I have to keep current on events to create segments for the Millionaire Morning Show. So I seen he streamed for 30 days and broke the record for subscribers. Wow, that's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. Your card says AP Euro sounds like a watch. It does. It's let me see. Adrian says we work ethic is more valuable and a better predictor of success. That is true. That is true.
Let's get it.
Let's see. Your card says that we are going to turn Ralph into a graphic designer. That's a good one. That is a good one. They've been trying since 1998 when I created my first website in like 2002, and my dad said, Mitch. The reason that I like Mitch so much is that my dad was the original Mitch, because when I showed that first front page looking website, he said that was trash.
Do not come.
And he was
I'm just being honest.
he was just being honest. It was trash. I wish I could find. I have to see if I can find it. But yeah, that's how it was. Says he got a stream in Florida. Throw Ralph in the water. What? What are you talking about? Let me see. Oh, it says we got it. All right. Let me see. Where are we? Let's see. All right. We got Darcel in the building. What's up, Darcel? How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well, Darcel. Let me see. Anything else? Mitch, I knew Mitch would like that one. Your dad is the original. I knew you'd like that one, Mitch. I knew you would like that one. All right. Anyways, let's get on to our next question of the night. So, where are we? All right. So, and let me drop the link to call in case anybody wants to call into the show. The call lines are open. We can have a conversation. You don't have to be on camera. Right? So, let's get to the next one.
Another one.
The problem are the software engineers and the technical folk. Wow, the blame game is starting already, okay? So, what does this one say? It says that when people talk about why Agile transformation fails, well, a lot of blame tends to fall on the leadership team as blockers. But honestly, software engineers play a big role in these failures too. And it's something the community rarely talks about. Okay, we're going to blame the software engineers. Okay, it sounds like, familiar. Like whenever things go wrong, blame a certain group of people. Okay. So here's what I've seen happen. Disrespecting non-technical roles. Engineers often dismiss other roles with comments like, they're not technical enough. But let's be honest, most engineers have a pretty narrow focus and aren't exactly experts outside of their specific programming skills. Well, this sounds like you're disrespecting technical roles, but I digress. This kind of attitude just breeds resentment and makes collaboration harder. Honestly, I've yet to meet an engineer who's a master at every skill a team uses, let alone the skill across an entire organization, but are quick to pass judgment. Okay, I got you. Number 2, ignoring cross-functional skills. Teams are made up of people with different specialties, and no one can be an expert in everything. Yet, engineers sometimes undervalue roles like Agile coaches or Scrum Masters, overlooking the unique skill they bring, like improving ways of working and boosting team organization and effectiveness. Number 3, lack of big picture thinking. So engineers are often so deep in implementation work that they lose sight of how their contributions fit into the bigger picture. Despite this, they're quick to criticize agile coaches and scrum masters who are actually trying to bring clarity by finding ways to align team objectives with the enterprise. Number 4, throwing scrum masters under the bus. Oh my goodness. So this person does sound like a disgruntled scrum master, I must say. When things go wrong or blockers aren't resolved, engineers can be quick to blame scrum masters or agile coaches instead of working with them to find solutions. This just reinforces the same old problem instead of driving change. Number five, misunderstanding change management. Some engineers see change management as something that only applies to software teams and don't recognize it as a legitimate discipline. This can lead to dismissive or even arrogant behavior. The bottom line, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. So the bottom line, the idea that agile coaches or scrum masters need to be technical to add value is misguided and frankly part of the problem. Agile transformations are about collaboration and respecting everyone's expertise, not just focusing on technical skills. All right, let's start our timer for this one. Okay, so we're gonna try to get through each of these points here, but I'm gonna say this, right? I think that it is possible that, engineers can, dismiss non-technical people, but here's the deal. Overall, I'm going to say that when it comes to technical folk and non-technical folk communicating with one another, I think there needs to be grace on each side because part of the problem is that engineers they see things in ones and zeros and in algorithms and if statements and stuff like that, right? And the non-technical people, they see things in more of a, story, literary fashion and stuff like that. So when there's no grace in between, I think the same way that this person was probably an agile coach or a scrum master lays off all their grievances, they're celebrating Festivus in the month of December. They're listing out all their grievances with the engineers and the technical people. I think the very same thing could be flipped over and said right back to them, right? So I think a lot of times we don't look for how to communicate with the other side, how to extend that olive branch. So with that sentiment of they're not technical enough, I think that the non-technical people can say, well, they're too technical, So where is the language of all right? One thing I think from especially from the scrum masters and the agile coach, I think the goal is that you need to refocus the team on what is the mission, for the scrum master, for the product owner, product manager, what is the overall goal that we're trying to achieve, right? You're talking about the big picture, so you'll say that the lack of big picture thinking. Well, we actually have a meeting at our company where we call it big picture or whatever day it is, big picture Wednesday, big picture Thursday, where we have a scheduled meeting where the product manager brings us back to all right, because the engineers, yes, we're very deep into the weeds of implementation and trying to figure out how to do this, how to do that. So it is possible that we can get deep in the weeds, we miss the big picture, but it is part of the non-technical crew to say, all right, this is the overall goal that we're trying to achieve. We're trying to do this for the company. We're trying to save money. We're trying to implement this new feature. We're going in this direction, and now we go out there and we figure out how to do it. So I think that it's important to be able to know how to communicate, right? Because playing the blame game on either the non-technical people, the scrum masters, the product people, or playing the blame game and saying, it's the engineer's fault, you're not going to get anything done. you're not going to achieve anything. And I think that's stupid, for us to like be fighting with one another instead of teaming up. In the video that I had yesterday for like the state of QA, I was talking about like we would rather be adversarial instead of collaborate with our engineers, with our scrum masters, with our product owners, and we just want to say, oh, I thought like you like, oh, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, you did that wrong. This is what this one is doing, right? This is what this one is doing, you know. So that's why I'm like, all right, we need to leave that mindset and say, all right, what is the overall goal? I'll tell you this, right? We were in sprint planning today, and we're short on staff for this sprint, and it's a shortened sprint. And it was like, okay, so we have to do this task, this task, this task. I'm like, oh, this is the task. Like, so we're planning our test. I'm like, this is the task that would go here and do this. And it was like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I can take that one on. Is that necessarily quote unquote my role as listed on paper? Um, I guess not, but guess what? It doesn't matter to me because I'm like, all right, we are a team, right? And if I'm on the team and my job is to, for another reference, pass it to Will, I am not going to be Carlton and steal the ball from Will and just launch it at the rim, and I totally miss the whole backboard and we lose the game. No, I'm gonna pass it to Will. I am going to pass it to Will if that is my role for me to help the team be successful. My goal at the end of the day is how can we win together? And I think that everything that you just listed over here, if you would strategize on how we can be successful together, then you would not be making this list of grievances, with your technical folk, with your software engineers. You would say, okay, what's falling apart in our communication? Where's the gap? How about we set up a retro, and then you actually speak to your engineers and whoever else to say like, how can we communicate better? How can we be on the same page? How can we be aligned so that we don't have, so that, because you're apparently feeling some type of way, right? You're apparently feeling some type of way. I don't want you to go into Discord and start writing, like start typing hard about how someone hurt your feelings, in a retro or in a sprint review, and now you don't know what to do, and somebody needs to check that engineer. So I'm just saying, I was gonna lie to you, but I'm just being honest, right? Anyways, let's find a way to work more efficiently together so that we can win together instead of we can be enemies. We do not want to be enemies. We want to be teammates. All right, let's wrap that question up. Alrighty then, let's see what we've got going on over here. Let's see. Let me see. There's some good comments in here. Let's see. All right. Mitch said he was thinking of. I gotta share this one. Oh my gosh, says Dysa. I'm confused. Mitch is confused because he's like, is Ralph the only one here? And how dare Mitch just Mitch hit him with the.
How dare you?
Let's see. I love you guys load. All right. But she said she's hanging in there because she knows she has her mock interview coming up this weekend, and I'm telling you, Mitch, I'll tell you this, right? Whenever we do these mock interviews, they will try to, like, everyone will try to get out of it. Like, they'll try to get out of it. And I'm like, it's yesterday, for the one that I had in the morning, they said, they sent me a message like an hour before. It says, I didn't really prepare for it, and the job that I was going for, they told me that I'm not gonna get to interview for it, and I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna do it anyways. And like, I'm not really prepared. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, you'll just do your mock interview unprepared, and we're gonna go out there and get it. All right. So I take no. I'm saying, you know what. I think I gotta get meaner. I think I gotta get meaner, right? I think I gotta get meaner. And just say, you know what, it is what it is. Whether you're ready or not, we're gonna do it. So the day comes, and just gotta suck it up. You just gotta suck it up and do it. All right. It says, is it is it still that bad with technical people? I don't really see that anymore. That's why you need a middleman, i.e., a business analyst. I think QA people are also like if you don't have a business analyst, I think QA people are also a good middle person. Honestly, I think part of the problem is that it is really, really hard for engineers to break down complex matters, and then like the non-technical people can feel like they're being spoken down to, but sometimes you just don't know how to break it down, which is why we have our urban dictionary of economic data, because a lot of complex topics we say, you know what, how can we make this easy to understand, and give us an example that is relatable to us. But a lot of times it's hard, right? Your car says, when technical folk need to talk talk to non-technical folk, just call me. I got you. That is a fact. That is a fact. I do know technical people get mad when non-technical people make more. That's hilarious. Your guy says, was I the only one who caught the Festivus reference? George wanted to celebrate Festivus. George from Seinfeld wanted to celebrate Festivus. I thought it was Frasier election. No, it was not Frasier. It was I believe it was. Yeah, it was Seinfeld. I believe it was Seinfeld. It says pass it to Ralph. Pass it to Mitch. Ralph definitely is Carlton. That's a good one. That's a good one. Your car says pass. See, now I don't know who to pass it to. I don't know who to pass it to. Awkward situation. So speaking about passing it, right? Awkward situation. Mitch, or anyone in the chat. You ever been playing basketball, like pick up ball, and players on the same team, they get into an argument, right? Like, and both of them are your friends, right? They get into an argument. Like, they get into like a heated argument, and they're going back, and they're on the same team, right? And I'm like, it's just Sunday morning basketball. Who cares, right? But anyways, they're going back and forth. They're going back and forth, and they end up losing. And now you have to pick one of them up, and you're like, they don't want to pay. They don't want to play together because they're so mad at each other. I was like, oh my god, I don't want to. I was like, you know what? It was kind of like when Will had to pick for the game show between I think his name was Ty and Jazz, and he was like, I'll pick Carlton. Oh my goodness, going way back. This fake pass to your car, not even gonna look that way. That's mean. You see, there you go. Your car wants to trade. Your car says, if you're picking Mitch on your team, do not pick me.
Bruh.
And I'll say this too, right? There are times that you'll get a pick and roll, and then the person is wide open, and you're like, you should have passed it to him because they're like wide open under like for a layup, and then I shoot the three anyways, and I'm like, God, I hope this three goes in, because if it misses and I didn't pass the ball, it's gonna be bad. However, sometimes when I do miss, they're right there for the rebound, and they put it right back in. I'm like, that was all part of the plan.
Let's get it. We the best.
Anyways. Your car says, I'm taking my talent to South Beach. Come on, your car. We welcome you down here in South Beach. You know,
They ain't believe in us.
they didn't believe in us, all right? Let's see. Ralph is like the boogeyman. Hey, man. Like, I'm telling you, I'm like, hey, look, no excuses. We got to do what we got to do, all right? Like your car says, suck it up, Buttercup. Suck it up, Buttercup. Let's see. They started this before they got on the court. It was hilarious. Always pick who plays the best. I mean, but the thing is, Darcel, like, there's different skill sets, and based on it's tough. Let's see. Curry in the last game, USA, he didn't pass. Did they win? Did they win at least? Uh, I'm not gonna read that, bitch. Anyways, you guys are so bad. You guys are so bad. All right, let's continue on. Let's continue on with the show. If you want to call in, feel free to click on the link, and we can have a conversation. We can answer any questions that you might have. But yeah, that's about it. All right, so we are going to get to our next question.
Another one.
Successfully introducing Agile without Agile experts? What is that all about? All right, so let's see. It says, can you successfully introduce an Agile way of working in a large corporation without Agile experts sharing best practices on a team level? That sounds a bit complicated. So, my corporation, a large bank, wants to introduce an Agile way of working. It doesn't want to limit an Agile way of working to IT. Okay. To achieve this, we can follow Agile trainings on a voluntary basis. This does not look like a very effective approach because it's not, because it remains abstract and managers are not necessarily involved. In my previous company, Lean/Agile experts came to the team and discussed what could be done to introduce a Lean Agile way of working. This seemed to work. What do you think is necessary to effectively introduce Agile in a non-IT department? So let's start off our timer for that one. So here's the deal, right? Yakar, correct me if I'm wrong, but Agile, Kanban type stuff, wasn't that introduced by Toyota like a long time ago, that methodology? Now, it was adopted by software engineers back in when they wrote the Agile Manifesto back in like 2000-ish, around that time frame. So Agile is not limited to IT. Agile is a methodology, short increments, like 2-week increments of work to, like having your minimum viable product, being able to deliver something on a regular basis, and so forth, right? Now, the idea of introducing an Agile way of working without somebody who is an Agile expert and honestly, I don't think it has to be an expert, right? But it's a tall order to ask, right? So, okay, so when you say they don't want to limit an Agile way of working, with like working to only to IT. So they want everybody to adopt Agile approach, which I think that's a good idea. The problem is here's one of the problems that I kind of see with the Agile coaches that are external. So like you bringing somebody to try to implement a new rule or procedure, you're bringing in an outsider, all right? I think that the key is that you need to actually sell. You need to sell the change that you're looking to make, and you have to you need to implement Agile in a company in an Agile approach. You can't just say, all right, we're doing waterfall today or working in this particular way today, this methodology, and then tomorrow we're going to be going into sprints and all these long meetings and stuff like that. No, you can't do that. I think the very first step would be either to hire maybe an Agile coach, maybe a Scrum Master, whatever, and then internally train some Scrum Masters so that maybe that one person can be like the leader of the people who are going to be Scrum Masters. So you have some training internally within the company, and then you start to slowly divvy up the teams, and you have the person that everyone knows start to say, hey, what about if we try doing this? And you just slowly try to increment, like you slowly start to increment implementing the Agile practices in that way, right? That way you don't slap the team in the face with a whole new way of working, because people are very, very resistant to change, right? People are very resistant to change. They want to just keep doing things the way that they've been doing it forever, instead of see, hey, what else can we do over here? What are our options? is there a better way to do this? Is there a more effective way? I think Agile is an amazing way of working, despite how technical and non-technical people might feel, right? So honestly, like if you're just going to say, hey, go watch this video on how Agile works and expect people to do it, you are sadly mistaken. They're going to tell you,
Do not come.
right? That's what they're going to tell you, right? And so I think that you need to have people who are going to be leading the efforts to have people transition over to Agile. It's not going to be a voluntary process. It's trust me, it's not like when look at the resistance there is to electric cars, to AI music, right? To robots. So much resistance because if and I'm telling you, people would still be riding the Mustang instead of driving the actual Ford Mustang, right? So that's why I'm like, you need to have these people come in and they need to train internal people on Agile, and then start to like, all right, let's try to do this, let's try to do that. Let's have these meetings. How about we plan what we're going to be doing for our next 2 weeks? How about once those 2 weeks are over, then we look back on those 2 weeks and say, how did it go? Was there anything that went well? Was there anything that went wrong? You have to introduce it to them without letting them know that you're introducing it to them. You have to start shifting them over into that direction without letting them know they're shifting into that direction. If this is something totally new to the company, right, and you want people to buy in, you have to have them do it without knowing that they're doing it. And you have to have them believe that it's working better than the way that they've been, like, so you always have to highlight the success. Ask, what do you think went wrong? How do you think we could do this better, right? So if you want to introduce Agile to any company, but let alone a large company, it has to be a slow transition period. And you can't say, we're going to be doing Agile. It's just, hey, we're going to, let's try to experiment. What about if we do this for the next 2 weeks? And then if something doesn't work, you investigate why it didn't work. And they say, how about we tweak it a little bit until at the end of the day, everyone is doing Agile and they don't even know that they're doing Agile and they love it. And they love it. All right. So that's my thoughts on it. That is my thoughts on the matter. Let's wrap that question up. All righty then. Let's see what is going on over here. Let's see. Let's see. I already read that one. Hold on, let's scroll down some more. It's slowing down. All right. Let me see. It says, I need some salmon and rice. Your car says that Kobe didn't pass either. That is a fact. Kobe did not pass for his, like, no, he did not pass. Like, that was not in his vocabulary. Like passing your car. Kobe Bryant saw passing the way that Allen Iverson saw practice. All right. Kobe Bryant is to passing what Allen Iverson is to practice. Right? Mitch says he needs some salmon and rice. He says grow up. Wait, you didn't like what your car said about Kobe? Yeah, oh man. Kobe fan over there, I see. Okay. I mean, I like Kobe too. Cook your own food. Alexis quit rice. Mahi. Do you cook? All right. That's it. Your car says, don't go chasing waterfalls. Just stick to the Agile practices, the Kanban and the Scrum meetings that you're used to, all right? Listen to the Agile method we used to. Let's see. There will be no Kobe hate here. Why, Mitch? Why is, like, all right, look. Kobe didn't pass the ball, but it was also for good reason, right? Kobe didn't pass, but it was also for good reason. Who is he gonna pass to? Smush Parker? Like, come on. That is not Kobe hate. That is just being on. You know what, Mitch?
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
Who is he gonna pass to? Smush Parker? Andrew Bynum? He did what he had to do. All right. I'm just saying. All right. Anyways, we're gonna get to our next. Just a little bit. Mitch is a huge Kobe fan, and it hurt his feelings when your car truthfully said that Kobe was what's the word I'm looking for? Not addicted, but he didn't pass. Kobe didn't pass, right? See Odom? Would he pass the Odom? No. Odom was like a 7-foot point guard, right? Odom was like a 7-point guard. Like, no, like Kobe did what he had to do. Kobe did what he had to do. He might have took like 80 shots a game, but guess what? If he didn't take them, who did you want to take him? Who would you want to take him if he didn't take him? All right. I'm just saying. All right. Anyways, let's move on. We're not gonna get into this basketball talk. Let's see. All right. Now Darcel is just gaslighting. Now there's like Smush was nice. Darcel is just gaslighting us now. You get one of these, Darcel.
I'm a knucklehead at times.
Anyway, let's get to our next question of the night. If you want to call into the show, feel free to call in. The call lines are open for you. All right. Let me go over here. All right, we're gonna get to our next question of the night. All right, let's go.
Another one.
How to approach a QA interview, which is just like it's kind of like the question that Adrian was asking, but let's see. It's a little different. So it says tomorrow. What? Tomorrow? And you're asking now? I have an interview for a QA intern position. I sent my CV, my resume, and they contacted me. The company uses many technologies I've never worked with, and I have limited experience in QA. In a previous job, I performed manual QA tasks, but what I know about automation comes from Udemy courses. I've completed Selenium and Postman, and I'm finishing up Playwright. The problem is I'm not sure how to approach this type of interview due to my limited experience and the fact that they use technologies I haven't worked with. Should I focus on a typical QA interviews question, or should I prepare for questions related to the tech stack? Well, let's go ahead and start our timer on that one. So, your first mistake is that why is it a day before your interview you're asking this question for a QA intern position?
Bruh.
So that's your first mistake. You should have asked, like, unless they just contacted you today saying, hey, we want to interview you tomorrow. If that's the case, they're probably not going to ask you like super tough questions until they work with you one-on-one. Number two, for a QA intern position, you don't have to be you don't have to know everything inside and out for a QA intern position. They just want to make sure that you have a pulse and that you're competent and, compare you to other QA interns. But at the end of the day, it's going to be more of a personality hire than a skill set hire, because at the end of the day, you are an intern, right? And it's good that you perform some manual QA tasks and that you've taken some automation courses on Udemy, which shows initiative. So shout out to you. And honestly, for a QA intern position, if you did Selenium, Postman, and Playwright, I think that's more than enough. A QA intern position, like internships, period, they're more for you than for the company. To be honest with you, I'll tell you. All right.
I'm just being honest.
So interns, right? Internships. They are. I know people are like, oh, never do an unpaid internship and stuff like that. Do you know how much like it takes to as a company to do it, like to do an internship for somebody, like to give them an internship? Because you have to pretty much walk them through. You are introducing a person into your company and setting up, giving them access to your network, giving them computer, all that type of stuff for a possibly like them working there for like 3 months for the summer, and then you have to wipe all that stuff out after you're done. So internships are are honestly kind of a gift to someone who is trying to get into their field, trying to figure out like what they want to do with their career, trying to gain some experience. So just keep that in mind, right? No one else is going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you that, right? Being able to do internships for people is tough, right? So, but I think that but back to the question, by you doing Selenium, Postman, and Playwright, I think that is a very good step forward. Now, when you're talking about the technologies that they've used, a lot of the companies that I've like when I go to a company, they are using they're using technologies that I haven't used yet. And once I get into the company, right? Because a lot of times a company's not going to list their tech stack in the job description and stuff like that. But they're going to say, okay, we need you to know like some AWS or some Google Cloud, or they might tell you like we use Selenium, whatever. But the actual tech stack, you're gonna find out more about that when you are maybe in an interview once you actually get hired. So I wouldn't really focus much on the tech stack. I would say I would say the like not necessarily focus on the typical QA interview question, but always looking to see, all right, be honest in your interview, but always looking to highlight the things that you have done and the things that based on what their needs are, the things that you're going to do. So I would highly emphasize that that every time they ask you a question, you bring it back to something amazing that you did. So they ask you like, "All right, have you ever done this?" And you answer like what you have done, and then you bring in that, "Oh yeah, but like and I did some automation based on this using Selenium and Postman, and and another project I did Playwright in Postman, or I used some API library to do some API testing, like whatever the case may be, right? But you always want to highlight the things that you have done in the interviews. That's very, very important to make them say wow. That's my motto for interviews is make them say wow. You have to answer the questions, but you also have to make them say wow. I never even thought about that. So that is a tip and a trick to not just be a robot answering, I did this and I did this, I've done this, I've done that. Like, oh yeah, so this is a cool thing that I did where I set up this project where we were able to save the company X amount of dollars, yada yada yada, right? Kind of hard for someone who's applying for an internship role, but if you're applying for a QA internship, that means you are probably in college. So highlight some cool stuff that you've done in college, right? Like what if you led something in college or you were part of, getting something set up and you were doing the testing on it. How did you approach testing? All of that good stuff, right? So I wouldn't be as concerned with the tech stack as I would be with highlighting your accomplishments and what value you are looking to bring to the table for the company, all right? Because everyone has to answer the question of what do you bring to the table, because that's what life is based on. But some people don't like that question, but guess what? Those people get left behind. With that being said, let's wrap that question up. Alrighty then. All right, let's see what we got going on over here. Let's see. I was wondering the same thing too, Yakar. I mean, Mitchell, what is that? What is that? Uh, that was not going to show up. Interviews don't make sense to me, says Mitch. That's because Mitch gets the job before he even applies. He's like, you know what? I don't. Yeah, Mitch doesn't even apply for jobs. They just say, hey, Mitch, this is your salary. It's going to be 3 times what you're making now. And we're going to give you a company Lambo. So show up and show out. So, that's how Mitch rolls. That is how Mitch rolls. Let's see. Uh, I don't know if it's gonna show up good here as it shows up in the chat. All right, let's see. Let's continue. Uh, let's see. Magnetar says, "Gee, I wish my current job gave me an interview first. I've never once said, gee, I wish my current job gave me an interview first. It's always been, thank God I didn't have to interview." That's awesome. That is awesome. Let's see. So Mitch says they still don't even make sense. There are people that are good at interviews that can't do the job. I mean, but Mitch, there are people who say there should only be like half a round of interviews. There shouldn't be like 3 or 4 rounds of interviews, because honestly, in those 3 or 4 rounds of interviews, you're going to talk to the recruiter who's going to be walking you through the process. You're going to probably have a technical interview. Then you're going to have a interview with the team that you'll be working on to see if you're going to be a good fit on the team. Where they're going to be like evaluating for different things, and then you might have with a director or hiring manager or something like that. Interviewing is super, super expensive if you get it wrong. And that's why I honestly don't mind going through those multiple rounds, because you can be going through those rounds and during like one of those rounds, you're like, oh, you know what? There's something that I don't like about this company, and you pull out. But if you go through the whole process, or if you go through like one round of interview and you say, oh, I actually hate this job. And I think that's why a lot of people end up hating their jobs, because they try to get it fast. They want that fast money. And then they see that it's an actual nightmare. But if they were to take their time, and Mitch is going to say, some people don't have that luxury of taking their time. They have to accept anything that they can get. But then they want to complain about it. They do a sucky job, and then now everyone is miserable. So hiring is super, super expensive. That's why companies try to get it right, and that's why they go through multiple steps. Right? Let's see. Let's see. Mitch is Mitch is feeling some type of way. Somebody told him that he's right. Oh my goodness. Don't do that. Don't do that to him, Magnetar. Once Mitch said, once you get Mitch said, you tell him that he's right, then if he's on cloud 9, he's like, thank you. You better thank him, Mitch. Oh my goodness. There should be 3 tops. And guess what? Mitch? And people still need the job, so they're gonna go if there's 10 rounds and they need the job, they're gonna go through 10. Right? Also, there are NFL players who get picked legit last round and do way better than first round. I mean, yeah, it happens. But I think that it happens. But I don't think comparing the NFL players to is the same thing. Basketball, baseball. Okay, so it's not a sport. Working in a tech job is not a sport. Let's see. Tom Brady 7th round. All right. It's the same, weirdo. It's not the same. It is not the same because here's why it's not the same, because in the NFL, right? Here's why it's not the same. In the NFL, you have however many rounds that you get, right? And then you can have walk-ons and stuff like that. You have walk-ons and stuff like that, right? But you can evaluate all of those players. A company is not going to hire like 60 people, a company's not hiring, is not drafting 60 people all at one time. So a draft is different than a company like hiring for one software engineer or one data analyst or whatever, right? They have to interview X amount of people, and they have to make a decision in X amount of time, and they can only pick one. So, and there's no, you're not going to be able to compare how the first round pick did to the first pick in the draft did to the 30th pick and the 60th pick, and however far it goes down, right? Remember, Isaiah Thomas was also a last round. He was like the 60th pick in the draft, right? And when he said, they're going to back up the Brinks truck, and the Brinks truck ran him over. The Brinks truck could not see him, and they ran him over, and they ran him over and ran him out of the league.
Bruh.
So that was mean. That was mean. All right, that was mean. That was uncalled for. That was uncalled. I'm sorry, Isaiah Thomas. I'm sorry, Isaiah Thomas.
Do not come.
So I just told you why the concept is not the same. It is two totally different things. All right. And you see, look at him back there. Like Mitch is gonna be on cloud. Like, oh man, Mitch is gonna be on cloud. He's gonna. You know what? I feel like we might catch these hands tonight. All right. I seriously agree with that. He loves to disagree with me. He wants to be a skin. But Ralph, come on, Ralph. Tech coach Shannon. Let's go. All right. Let's continue on. But you guys understand that I'm right. Right? You guys understand, like, drafting players to play a game that you can compare all of them across each other to a company choosing one person. Sometimes you get it wrong. Sometimes you get it right. Yeah. That says your car says Ralph's favorite show, Let's Rant About It, is about to premiere. That is my favorite show. The host is impeccable, right? The host is impeccable. My favorite show. All right. Mitch says, no, that I am wrong. You know what, Mitch? You know what? I think that we need to catch these hands. Mitch, because you are not going to tell me that I am wrong when I am right. I know that I'm right. Mitch. So.
Yo, my boy Mitch, we don't always see eye to eye, but in the ring of life, he's my ride or die. Throwing shade with his threats, catch his hands and shouts, but trust me, it's love he's packing, not just about. We banter like kings, no one's backing down. Throwing punches, but it's all from the heart. In this crazy world, we're always a team. Best friends forever, with the shared dream. Mitch and me, man, we're living the theme. We chop up the data, make those numbers dance. Talking tech battles, man, we take our stance. Chicago PD, yeah, we're the squad on the lane. Fighting like Ricky and Cal, bringing glory and pain. But win or lose, we're never apart. Throwing punches, but it's all from the heart. In this crazy world, we're always a team. Best friends forever, with the shared dream. Mitch and me, man, we're living the theme. So here's to us, a bond that won't fade. In the ring of the streets, we've got it made.
Shout out to my guy Mitch. We caught those hands of love just now. Like I said, you never know when the beat's gonna drop. All right, so you guys want to pull? What is the pull? What am I asking? What am I even arguing against? So you're saying is the pull is drafting players in the NFL or in sports the same as a company hiring one individual person? Is that what the pull is? Is that the pull? I will put the pull up for you. Is that what the pull is? Let's see. That's what I'm trying to find out as well, right? Your car. What is the poll? What is the poll that we're posting here? Is it is the NFL draft the same as a company hiring one person for a role? Is that what we're doing, Mitch? He says, "What? You see what he does? That doesn't make sense. What you said." But what's the poll? What is the poll? Let me know what the poll is, and I'll put the poll for the rest of the show. But that's what I'm hearing from you guys. Poll question. Our interviews are such. Okay, cool. I got you. I'll put that. I will put that poll up. I mean, Just remember though, 74 million people voted for so polls really don't mean much. Oh my goodness. All right. Are interviews essential? And so if interviews are not essential though, right? If interviews are not essential, what should you do? Like how would you find out if you should hire somebody or not? How would you find out if you should pay somebody $150,000 a year or not if interviews are not essential? But I'll put the poll up. There goes your poll. There goes your poll. Are interviews essential? And I will check the results towards the end of the show, right? So let's continue on. I thought what I asked was like see, I thought that's what they were asking. I thought they were asking, are draft picks the same as job interviews? So let's see. But I put the poll question that Magnetar suggested, so we'll see what happens. It says from now on, when me and Ralph don't agree, we're going. Yeah, let's do it. That sounds like an awesome idea. Let's put a poll up. Do I get to define the question though? Do I get to define the question? What? I drop is a gas. What are you talking about? Who did I gaslight? Who did I gaslight? That's hilarious. And that's a great answer, your car. The draft is not so Alexis asks, are draft picks the same as job interviews? And your car says the prior season is your job interview. That's awesome. That is awesome. All right. Anyways, let's get to another question as the poll builds up and we get ready to wrap up the show in a little bit. All right. We are going to here. We're going to do. Let me see, where are we at? All right. Let's get to our next question.
Another one.
Upskilling for an experienced automation engineer. So what is that one all about? So it says, so I've been writing automated tests and frameworks in JavaScript for about 3 years now, and I feel like I know my way pretty well around Cypress, Playwright, JavaScript, APIs, and front-end testing, as well as Azure pipelines and writing my own YAMLs to run tests in a pipeline. That's awesome. What would you guys recommend to upskill in my career? Just wanting to become more marketable for future opportunities and needing a challenge. So that's the type of questions that I like to hear. Those are the questions that I like to hear. Let's start our timer. So, number one, it sounds like you're doing very, very well in your current skill set for about 3 years. And that's why this is really good because from day one, expanding your skill set, learning about Cypress, learning about Playwright, learning about JavaScript. I would probably throw some Selenium in there, maybe not too crazy into Selenium if you're more on the JavaScript-based side, but why not also include some more languages, maybe Python, maybe Java. You might not have to use it on a regular basis, but having a little bit of exposure to it is going to help you. I would also say dive into Docker, Kubernetes. I see that you said that you're working on the Azure pipelines, but I think also going more into like a DevOps type role. So like where you're mixing the QA and the DevOps to see like what opportunities in DevOps are there for QA. So maybe maybe setting up different like grids, ways to run tests, looking into GitHub Actions, because while you might be doing this in particular for your company, right? While you might be doing this for your company, not all companies are going to be using this exact same skill set, and you just want to be to be more marketable, to be able to have on your resume Docker, GitHub Actions, building something is going to be very, very helpful. One of my tech barbarians, in like once they signed up, right, and they told me about their boot camp experience. They went to Mitch's favorite boot camp, and and I said, okay, well, what did you learn? And said, well, I learned this, I learned that, I learned that. I'm like, okay, cool. I need you to do this. They were like, what is that? I said, okay, well, since they didn't teach you that, I guess we're gonna have to learn it together. I want you to go ahead and do this. And they were like, I don't think I can do that. I'm like, well, I don't need you to think. I don't need you to think. Nope. I just need you to do. So whenever somebody says, I don't think I can do something, I'm like, okay, I didn't ask you to think if you could do it. I just asked you to go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and do it, right? So, but then within like a month, right? They were. I think it was with Docker and stuff. We was all right. We're going to spend some time together. We're going to get a Docker installed. We're going to install we're going to get like a container running so you can actually see it working. And then once we did that, they were navigating. They were pulling. Now I can say, all right, I need to go test this branch, and they were able to pull it in, build a Docker image, and all that good stuff, right? So so the purpose I'm sharing that is that you just need to be able to expand your skills into the different technologies that other companies are doing. So here is a suggestion. I don't know why am I sharing. I shouldn't even be sharing this with you, right? But here, like because you asked, here's a suggestion, right? I would say go online, maybe on LinkedIn, Glassdoor, whatever. Look for go to Netflix, and see the job postings for what do you call them, for the Netflix QA or software development engineer and test, right? And I'm not telling you to necessarily apply for it, but see what their job description is, and then you actually go and see. All right, let me learn some of this stuff over here, and then do the same thing for Amazon. Maybe practicing on some of these algorithms that Amazon gives to their interviewees. Um, do the same thing for YouTube. Like see what other frameworks that QA engineers across different companies are using, right? And look for different industries. Look for like the video streaming industry, right? Look for what do Spotify QA engineers do? Look for in the fintech. What do QA engineers do in the banking industry? You don't have to be an expert in everything they do, but start getting a better understanding of the tools that they use, the approach that they take, so that if you end up going into one of these different worlds, these different opportunities, then you can speak about something, and you can say, oh yeah, I looked into this. I installed this. I dabbled in this software. One of the things that we're actually gonna do it on a stream. One of these, I don't know which day we're gonna do it, right? But when we did the conference, the tech conference at my company, um, we had a retro the other day, and we were like, oh, there's some things we could do better. One of the things were like we can have we can have a better way of managing the event. And I looked up like, well, is there an open source software that for event management? And I found one, and I'm like, oh, we can install it through Docker. So I'm like, you know what? On the channel, we're gonna give it a test drive by installing it via Docker locally or maybe on the cloud, and trying it out, configuring it to see how it works. And then I can go back to my company, to the people who are in charge of the conference for next year, and say, oh, I tried this out. Maybe we can use this. Maybe we can install it. Yada 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 yada. Right. So always one more actually, right? With another person that I'm coaching, they were going to be using the job they were applying for it was highly centered around a particular software, and they had never used that software before. So I said, okay, well, it's open source software. There was a Docker image. This person had never used. They've never even installed Docker, never used terminal before. I walked them through, and I said, all right, now we have this installed. Now I need you to go and configure it, try to learn about it. So now when you go into your interview, you can actually share that. Although I never used it before, I saw that I can install it locally on my computer, and I did, and I was playing around with it, and this is what I learned. And now I don't know what the end game of this interview is, like what's gonna the final outcome, but the person interviewing them was very impressed that they went through that much initiative to learn. And those are the little things that I'm talking about that you should say, like you make the people say, wow, I wasn't expecting that. And I think that and when you impress them that way, you might not get the job because they might go with somebody with more experience, but you leave an impression. And last year I was talking to somebody, and they like the people who were interviewing them really really liked them, but they went with somebody with more experience, right? This has happened to many people, but then the person backed out of the role saying, "Oh, I can't accept it," and they called them up, and now over a year they've been at the company and they are killing it out there. That part I would say is similar to Mitch's example with the NFL, where sometimes the person that you didn't pick originally they end up being phenomenal, but Mitch is still wrong about that, right? So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap that question up. Alrighty then, let's see what we got going on over here. Let me see. This is the BIC lighter. Prior season is equal to performance review, raise or fired. I don't know. If it's not the prior season, then it's your college experience, or I don't know. I don't think the draft is necessarily I don't think the draft is, because if you've never seen a player, before the draft, then you're not going to draft them. So it's not really a job interview. It says, hurts me to say, I agree with you. I says, how about we all be nice to each other? That's not gonna happen. That is not going to happen. Your car hit us with a, can't we all just get along? Let's see. Let's see. Stop being sensitive. You dish it all day. Rob, they're not even promoting that boot camp anymore. What? I could have sworn I still see the shorts and stuff like that. That I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. You know what, Mitch? Now I have to go check it. Let me see. Well, the website is still up, Mitch. The website is still up. Mitch, did you? I know you're popular, Mitch, but did you shut down that boot camp just by what you said the other day? My goodness, Mitch. My goodness. I beg your pardon. I'm confused. That was a good one. Magnetar is so bad. You are so bad. Let's see. Are you? You're so bad. Let's see. All right. It says QA shouldn't focus on particular domain. What do you mean by that? By focusing on a particular domain? I would say no. If you mean by domain you mean like an industry, like if you mean by should QA only focus on if you mean by industry, like should they only focus on, let's say, the banking industry? Well, what happens when does that mean that you're only going to be able to apply for QA roles in the banking industry? I have applied for various QA roles. Like I said, when I started my first job in QA, it was for I guess I call it a software that for a website translation company. Then I went to a mobile marketing-ish type company where they're like doing SMS type stuff, and then we built out the first business-to-business RCS software. And then I went to a pharmaceutical company, and then now I'm at a video company. So and I learn about all those industries as I get there. But I always like, so I learned a lot about the FDA and stuff like that and regulations at the pharma company. So I don't think that you should focus on one particular domain. I think you can have like your most knowledgeable in there, but you should definitely like look around and explore, saying, all right, because when I got to my current company, my early streams were like figuring out how to automate testing video streaming, right? Making sure that like on live, like not necessarily live stream, but like the playback through M3U8 manifest were how to test that. a lot of things around that. So I don't think that you should focus on one particular domain. You need to be somewhat versatile. Um, let's see. Oh my God. Um, Mitch says Ralph mentions my name to get clicks and likes. That's a fact. That is a fact. And Alexa says I'm paying attention to the teacher. Have you guys noticed, Mitch? Have you noticed that? Uh, after you used to get Alexis in trouble in class, she is now sitting at the front of the class, always brings an apple, on always like so. I am very proud of Alexis. I am very, very proud of Alexis. She's just sitting in the back of the class, making jokes with Mitch and your car, being disruptive in the class, and now she sits at the front, paying attention to the teacher. All of that. And Mitch is gonna say, "I am the teacher." I know Mitch is gonna say that he's the teacher. I know. Mitch is gonna be like, Mitch is gonna be like, who's the master? Who's the master? Show enough. She didn't say draft. What did she say? Did she not say draft? What did she say? I might have missed it. I thought wait, hold on. Now I have to go back. I have to go back and make sure I'm not crazy. What did Alexis say? Alexis said, are draft picks the same as the job interview? So okay. So are you saying like after they get picked, then no, because when you go to interview for a job, you're not getting paid for that interview. You don't get paid for a whole year while you're interviewing. So I would still say no. The draft picks are not the same as the interview, because if you're drafted, you already have a job for at least a year. I mean, so that's what I'd say. So even with that, Mitch, you are still wrong. Let's say, let's see. Your car says I'm a beta tester for many platforms. Yep, you are right. You know what? No. I'm not even. Your car is the alpha tester for many platforms as well. All right. I know what Mitch is gonna say before he even says it. Who's the teacher? Oh my goodness. And still wrong. Let's see. It says, I agree. For example, I get an annual appraisal. Depending on the number, I get extra paid time off and a cash bonus. Look at that. Yeah. So yeah, industry. I think you don't have to be an expert in many industries, but I think you should look around other industries to see like what is going on. See what honestly, I'd say see what the big companies are doing, and try to learn a little bit about that. So it just makes you more versatile as well. Let me see. Which always try to get some credit. It says, however, federal sector just aren't quick to fire a person like the private sector. That is true. They do hold on to people forever. It says, funny. What is that? Actually looks pretty cool. Your car has over there. That is pretty cool. Let's see. I'm throwing paper balls at her. You see what happens when you sit in front of the class? Oh my goodness. This guy is weird. That's not the one. Okay, then I don't know what you're talking about. He read the other one. You see what? Which one was it, Mitch? Which one was it? Because I might have missed it. All right, hold on. Oh my god. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. I said the prior season. Hold on. So your car said no. The prior season would be the job interview, and Alexis says prior season is equal to performance review, raise or fired. I thought I agreed with that. I thought I agree. I didn't I agree with that for the most part. Because after you said, I'm like, yeah, you know what, that does make that does make sense. I thought I agreed with that. If I didn't, then I do kind of agree with that without thinking about it too much. But yeah, if I said I didn't agree, I do agree with that for the most part. The prior season is like your performance evaluation. All right. Let's see. It says everyone be careful. Ralph hates people that agree with me. I do not hate anybody that agrees with Mitch. I just find it amusing when you guys want to agree with Mitch, and Mitch is definitely wrong. Because Mitch is wrong a lot. Mitch is wrong a lot. There are a few times that Mitch is right, and I will agree. See, and your card says, you see, there you go. Ralph is not a hater. Shout out to my guy. Ralph is not a hater. It says I'm a gaslighter though. Mitch says I'm a gaslighter. Maybe sometimes. You know what? People who are when Mitch is wrong, he thinks he's being gaslit. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Let me see. Anything else? We don't have enough time for another question for the night, so we'll pick up the rest of these questions next week. But we can wrap. Where are you getting these from? That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Let's see. Yep, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up. We did it. Don't want to go too long tonight. We're gonna be going live tomorrow morning. We're gonna be doing our news. Hopefully, let me see if we have the numbers to review yet, because I did not see it from LinkedIn. Whenever there's a holiday, LinkedIn gets really flaky on their information. Let's see. Nope. So we're gonna have to wing these numbers to look for on Saturday. But we're gonna have a great show on Saturday. So we'll be live tomorrow morning. We're gonna be working on our mobile development. We're going to be reviewing some news articles, all of that good stuff. All right. But yeah, that's about it. Let me ask you a question though. All right. So, actually, let me check the results of the poll. Poll results. All right. So, 60. So it says, are interviews essential? 40% said yes, they are, and 60% are wrong, who said no. So, and this is the beauty. That's the beauty about America and about YouTube, is that 60% of the people have the right to be wrong. Bruh. I'm just kidding. Mitch said, are you going to talk about side jobs while being remote versus hybrid? I can on Thursday if you want me to. Yeah, I had that for my Thursday notes. If you remind me, or in office, we'll talk about that during the break on Thursday. There's not much to talk about it. If you're gonna be in person, it's gonna be hard to do 3 jobs at one time. So you can try it, but it's not gonna be easy, especially when you're trying to be on multiple calls at the same time. So we'll talk about that on Thursday. Says, well, I put no, I'm not scared. I know, Mitch, we know that you have never, ever been scared to be wrong. And that's why we love you, because whenever Mitch is wrong, he wants us to catch these hands of love. You like what I did there, Magnetar? You like what I did there? Anyways, here's my question to you guys. All right, the question is,
are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says,
why you're here?
Whack that shit up, B.
I guess it's our cue to leave. But on the way out, you guys know the deal. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Today's price is certainly not tomorrow's price, because
one more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is always going up. Mitch said that was trash. Oh my goodness. Just like your vote, Mitch. Just like your vote, Mitch. But Mitch, we appreciate you. We appreciate when you're wrong. We appreciate when you're right. Although you are more wrong than right because Mitch, have you ever defeated me, Mitch? Have you ever defeated me in a one-on-one? I think not. But with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I am going to help people prepare for interviews that Mitch and Magnetar believe that they don't need. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you guys. I'm out of here. You guys have an amazing night. This is Tech Coach Ralph. We are out.
Tech Coach Ralph, tough as nails, no disguise. Pushing limits, yeah, he's that kind of guy. At first it's harsh, the rules feel like chains. But trust the process, there's sunshine in the rains. He cracks the whip, but it's all in love. Results shining bright like stars above. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. Days turn to weeks, skills sharp and fast. What once was a struggle now feels like a blast. Step by step, we rise and we glow. With Ralph in our corner, we're ready to show. Singing his praises, can't keep it inside. From hard ass to hero, he's our pride. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed.
Back from the streets, now I'm coding all night. They look at me like a fool, it don't feel right. Boot camps try to shackle, but I broke every chain. Got my eyes on the prize, ain't no stopping my reign. Used to run blocks, now I'm running these scripts. Look at them sweat, while my hustle just grips. No room for cowards in this digital climb. I'm the king of this jungle, it's my coding time. King of the code, I wear the crown. Gonna run this game, run them all down. From the concrete to the tech throne, I'll dominate this world, gonna make it my own. Show them who's boss from zero to hero. Turn every line to gold, they ain't keeping it real though. I elevate the game while they stuck in a glitch. Watch me rise to the top, counting every pitch. Crack the code like I cracked the streets. From back alleys to Silicon Elite. You thought you knew, but you don't know yet. I'll bring the heat, ain't seen nothing yet.
King of the code, I wear the crown. Gonna run this game, run them all down. From the concrete to the tank throne, I'll dominate this world, gonna make it my own. King of the code, I wear the crown. Gonna run this game, run them all down. From the concrete to the tech throne, I'll dominate this world, gonna make it my own. Show them who's boss from zero to hero. Turn every line to gold, they ain't keeping it real though. I'll elevate the game while they stuck in a glitch. Watch me rise